Hello, my name is Mary Dupree. I'm from Oregon, and I'm a double major in philosophy and English literature and a minor in film.
My name is Gabrielle Jerson. I'm from New York City. I'm double majoring in General Studies and English Lit, and I'm in the Gizmo, Knox College's Cafe.
Meu nome é Lívia, eu sou do Brasil, eu sou uma aluna do segundo ano e eu vou me formar em literatura inglesa. Hi, my name is Livia, I'm a sophomore, I'm from Brazil, and I'm majoring in English literature.
My junior year, I applied for the McNair program, and I got it, and I did research on the Jezebel figure in Gail Jones's Corregidora, and that sort of expanded into what's eventually now my honors project.
I applied for the Ford Fellowship program, and I was selected for a project that involves existentialism and its relationship to narratology and film, which is great because it pulls from all of my areas of interest. And the project essentially is looking to examine the relationship between narrative and film and the way different films play with narrative and what that does for us in terms of pleasure. And then we pull from existentialism to sort of try to explain where that pleasure is coming from on a philosophical level.
The summer that I did my McNair program, I went to UC Berkeley for a conference to go present on that with other McNair people in my year. I did a lot of cool academic things too, but I also got to try new foods. I got to go to California. I got to see academic staples. Everyone should try to do that at least once in their life. It's pretty funny.
I took an intro children's lit course last semester, and I thought I had this book that had no pictures in it, and it was about immigration, and I thought it was so interesting how it drew the reader in through this process where everything was nonsensical in this very hybrid, unsettling way, and I was like, that would be a good paper. And I did research, I'm still working on it, but I got asked to present it at a conference in March, and I'm really excited about it because I think I'm going to learn so much from it.
I'm involved in Caxton Club, which is a great experience because it's a group of students who are really excited about getting people to come and sort of erase this notion that there are these arbitrary people in these fields that are like beyond the collegiate level. And so we get poets that are, we've studied, we get visual artists that we've talked about, we get some pretty big names, and they come and we get to sort of have the experience of the body in the room instead of just looking at their name on a page, and that's been really, really great.
Well, I had some experience with our Club Against Sexism in Society, and I thought it was really important because we really don't talk as much as we should about social inequality and how sexism is present in big and small ways in everyday life. And in that club I found people who are very interested in talking about that and making sure the climate on campus is more open to those discussions, and thus by having them is a more open place and comfortable for everybody regardless of who they are.
I think you should be open and think about what it is that you like about the discipline. And in that same vein, be open when you come in as to what you want to study. The things that you liked in high school, sort of the things that people told you were important about literature. Maybe things that you realize you don't like, or the things that you thought were boring in high school, you may realize you're really passionate about them, because the way that you learn in college is very different.
Right. I would say that the faculty is unbeatable. I would say that there's a lot of opportunities to do outside research. There's a lot of opportunity to sort of figure out what your niche is and really go for it. There's independent studies that are really accessible, which I think is usually something that colleges say they have and then don't really have for you. For a school this size, I've never really looked at the syllabus and not found classes I was excited about. And I would say that it's a very intimate environment. So, really anything that you want to study, you're going to be given the opportunity to study.
Be prepared to have a lot of freedom to choose what it is that you can study in the department.
Say that if they're dead set on English and they know exactly what they want, they will have time to really, really dig in and relish in it because there are so many courses and they get to see it from so many different points of view. And if they're not quite sure which, they just know they want English, they definitely have time to explore. I find the survey courses to be very, very broad but still focused enough. And once you find it out, you have seminars and you have independent study and you can focus on whatever you want.